Welcome everyone. You want to know an hour of surprising curious facts about the world that you didn't know. Get ready for this incredible marathon of curiosities. Let's get started. The quetzal, the name of Guatemala's currency, is named after a species of exotic bird that lives in Central America. It is also the national animal of this country, and this bird is on the flag. The most expensive cheese in the world is Pule cheese, produced in Serbia from donkey milk and priced at around 1,000 euros per kilogram. The film, Avatar, is the highest-grossing film of all time, having grossed more than $2.9 billion worldwide. Russian astronaut Yuri Gagarin was the first human to travel into space on April 12, 1961. During his mission, Gagarin completed an orbit around the Earth, which lasted approximately 108 minutes, and experienced weightlessness in space. The armadillo is the only mammal that can contract leprosy. By just adding a code, you can see Mark Zuckerberg's profile. In case you want to try, when you put the facebook.com link /4, and when you hit enter, it will take you to Zuckerberg's profile. BMW began selling cars due to the defeat of the First World War. After Germany's defeat in World War I, the country's economy was severely affected by the harsh conditions imposed by the Treaty of Versailles. Therefore, BMW, which had originally dedicated itself to manufacturing aircraft engines during the war, had to reinvent itself and began manufacturing automobiles. In 1923, BMW launched its first car, the BMW 315 PS, also known as the Dixie, based on the design of the British Austin 7. The Spanish Miguel de Cervantes and the famous William Shakespeare are considered the greatest exponents of Hispanic and English literature respectively. It is curious that both died on April 23, 1616. In Bangladesh, 15-year-old students can be thrown in jail for cheating on their final exams. There are only 3 animals in the world that have blue tongues: the chow chow dog, the blue-tongued lizard, and the Asian black bear. Santa Claus didn't always wear red. Before, it was commonly represented wearing green, blue, or brown. Until the 1930s, thanks to a Coca-Cola advertising campaign, the color red became popular. There is a fish at the bottom of the sea with teeth so big that it cannot close its mouth. It is the Pacific viper fish. The date on wine bottles is the date the grapes were harvested, not the date the wine was bottled. This is a confusion that many people often have. The 3 richest families in the world have more money than the 48 poorest countries in the world. Among these families we find the Al Nahyan family that governs Abu Dhabi, the Walton family, owner of Walmart, and the Hermes family, owner of the well-known luxury fashion brand. The peanut, or peanut, has applications in more unusual fields, such as the manufacture of dynamite. Peanut oil, when processed, produces glycerol, a substance that is used in the production of nitroglycerin, one of the essential elements in the composition of dynamite. Are you curious to know what time people are usually happiest? People's happiest hour is 7 p.m. In the movie Django Unchained, there is a scene where Calvin Candy, played by Leonardo DiCaprio, is in the middle of an intense and emotional argument with another character, played by Christoph Waltz. In a moment of rage and desperation, Candy slams a table and accidentally breaks a glass with her hand. What makes this scene shocking is that DiCaprio's reaction was completely improvised and genuine. He actually cut his hand. During the Cold War, the United States and the Soviet Union competed in a space race. The Soviet Union was the first to send a human being into space, Yuri Gagarin, in 1961, while the United States was the first to land on the moon in 1969 with the Apollo 11 mission. The largest known egg comes from the extinct bird called Epiornis, which lived in Madagascar. These eggs could measure up to 30 centimeters long and 21 centimeters wide. Carrots used to be purple. They began to be made orange in the Middle Ages in the Netherlands to honor the Dutch monarch William of Orange, whose heraldic color was orange. All gondolas in Venice, traditional rowing vessels used to transport passengers along the city's many canals, must be painted black except those belonging to senior officials. Chess is the official sport of Armenia. And also, what is surprising is that in 2011, this country made chess a mandatory subject for all children over 6 years of age. Helps with decision-making, strategic planning, and logical thinking. Despite being known as the 100 Years' War between France and England, it lasted 116 years. Princess Juliana International Airport, located on the island of St. Martin in the Caribbean, is famous for a unique and exciting feature. Its runway is located very close to Maho Beach, allowing visitors to experience the exciting moment when planes pass overhead. Johnny Depp, before becoming an actor, had a band called The Kids in the 1980s, until at the age of 21, he made his first appearance in the world of cinema in the legendary 80s film, A Nightmare on Earth. Elm Street, there is a store in the state of Alabama that sells unclaimed, lost luggage. It's called Unclaimed Baggage, and it sells objects abandoned in airports that have never been claimed by their owners. Europe has a country whose official religion is Buddhism, the Republic of Kalmykia. 60% of people in this small Russian autonomous republic are Buddhists. And here is the largest Buddhist temple in Europe, called the Golden Temple. In 1567, Hans Steininger, until recently considered the man with the longest beard in the world, died after tripping over it while running to save himself from a fire in Braunau am Inn, a town in Austria. If you are wondering the size of his beard, it was 1.40 meters. Did you know that fire has no shadow? The Hollywood sign didn't always say Hollywood. The original sign was erected in 1923 as an advertising campaign for an upscale subdivision called Hollywoodland. The sign then deteriorated over the years, so it was decided to repair it on the condition that the word land be removed, as it was in 1949. The dromedary and the Bactrian camel are the only two species of camels that exist in the world. These differ in that the dromedary has a single hump and is usually taller, while the Bactrian camel stands out for its double hump, with a coat to face colder climates, and are more robust. The fruit with the highest sugar content is the date. The date is a small, oval-shaped fruit that comes from the date palm. It is famous for having a high sugar content. On average, it contains around 60 to 70 grams of sugar per 100 grams of fruit, that is, 60% sugar. Samsung created a cell phone with a Matrix theme. The Matrix phone was created specifically for the movie Matrix Reloaded, which debuted in 2003. After its appearance in the movie, only 5,000 units were produced that had the ability to make calls. Tenzing Hillary Airport, located in Lukla, Nepal, is known to be one of the most dangerous airports in the world. The runway is extremely short, only 527 meters long and with a slight upward slope. Furthermore, it is located at an altitude of approximately 2,845 meters above sea level. The airport is named after Tenzing Norgay and Sir Edmund Hillary, the first confirmed climbers to reach the summit of Mount Everest. There is an island in the Atlantic Ocean off Canada, known for its elongated shape, called Sable Island. This is completely uninhabited and has no shops, restaurants, or infrastructure. The only surprising thing it has is between 200 and 500 horses that live on the island. In 1896, the first film in the history of cinema, The Arrival of a Train at La Ciotat Station, directed by those considered by many to be the fathers of cinema, the Lumiere brothers, caused panic among viewers because they thought that the train was going to crash into them. Before launching her career as a singer and actress, Selena Gomez auditioned for the role of Michi Torres in the Disney Channel movie Camp Rock. Although she didn't get that role, she was chosen to star in the hit Disney Channel series Wizards of Waverly Place, which premiered in 2007. In the series, Selena played Alex Russo, a teenager with magical abilities who lives with her family in New York. In Japan, they grow square watermelons. Square watermelons are easier to package, making them ideal for export and display in stores and markets. and are popular for gifts. The white rhino is not white, it is gray. Steve Jobs, the co-founder of Apple Inc., never completed his college studies despite entering Reed College in Oregon in 1972 at age 6 months. The eye is a nocturnal primate native to Madagascar that has the curiosity of possessing a specially adapted sixth middle finger that it uses to extract insect larvae from tree trunks. It is often considered one of the ugliest animals in the world. Despite being diagnosed with ALS at the age of 21 and being informed that he only had a few years to live, Stephen Hawking lived to be 76 and made significant contributions to theoretical physics. The colugo, also known as the Malay glider, is an arboreal mammal that can move between trees using a method of planned flight. Despite its bat-like appearance, the colugo is not a rodent and is closer to primates. The Dumbo octopus, named for its resemblance to the Disney character, has ear-shaped fins that help it swim. It lives in the depths of the ocean and is known to be one of the rarest and most enigmatic octopuses in the world. The first video uploaded to YouTube on April 23, 2005 was titled "Me at the Zoo" and featured one of YouTube's co-founders, Jawad Karim, at the San Diego Zoo. This video marked the beginning of the world's largest online video platform. The Goliath frog is the largest frog in the world, with a length of up to 32 centimeters and a weight of up to 3.3 kilograms. Nike's famous "Just Do It" slogan was inspired by the last words of Gary Gilmore, a criminal on death row. Advertising creative Dan Whedon found the phrase powerfully motivating. The stonefish is one of the most venomous fish in the world and is known for its ability to perfectly camouflage itself with its rocky environment. Their bite can be lethal to humans if not treated quickly. IKEA, the renowned Swedish furniture company, is named after its founder, Ingvar Kamprad, combining the initials of his name, IK, the initials of the name of the farm where he grew up, Elmtrud, and the name of his hometown, Agunnaryd. The bald eagle is the national symbol of the United States, but it wasn't always that way. Benjamin Franklin proposed that the turkey should be the national bird instead of the bald eagle, arguing that the eagle was a bird of ill omen. The company name, Intel, is an abbreviation of Integrated Electronics. Arnold Schwarzenegger received a salary of $15 million for his role in Terminator 2: Judgment Day, released in 1991, making him the highest-paid actor at the time. The Belgian Blue Cow is a breed of cattle known for its extremely developed musculature. Due to a genetic mutation that affects the production of myostatin, a protein that regulates muscle growth, these cows are able to develop large, well-defined muscles. Anthony Hopkins only appears on screen for a total of 16 minutes and 20 seconds in The Silence of the Lambs, a film released in 1991. And the surprising thing is that he won an Academy Award for his portrayal of Dr. Hannibal Lecter acting in such a short time. The Goliath tarantula is the largest tarantula in the world in terms of body mass. It can reach a weight of up to 170 grams and a length of up to 30 centimeters, including extended legs. Avatar, released in 2009, is the highest-grossing film of all time, with a worldwide gross of more than $2.9 billion. It was also one of the first films to use 3D motion capture technology. Red kangaroos have the ability to suspend gestation of their young during difficult times, such as drought, until conditions improve, and they can provide a more suitable environment for the growth of the young. The movie Forrest Gump was filmed in more than 100 different locations, which included 55 days of filming in 6 different states in the United States. The title of the world's oldest sports car, in terms of continuous production, goes to the Chevrolet Corvette. The Corvette was first introduced in 1953 and has been in production continuously since then. During the filming of Schindler's List, which was released in 1993, Steven Spielberg refused to receive his director's salary and donated the money to the Shoah Foundation, which helped preserve the memory of the Holocaust. Since the film was about the Holocaust, the main character of the Toy Story film franchise was named Buzz Lightyear, as a tribute to Buzz Aldrin, the astronaut, who was part of the Apollo 11 mission and was the second human being to walk on the lunar surface, since desert sand is not suitable for construction because it is very fine. Saudi Arabia, despite the large deserts it has, must import sand from Australia. There is only one food that never deteriorates in life: honey. They have found honey from hundreds of years ago that still does not rot. The tallest statue in the world is the Statue of Unity, located in India. Inaugurated in 2018, it has a total height of 182 meters, including the pedestal. The statue represents Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, an Indian political leader and statesman who played an important role in the independence of India and the unification of the states after independence. Despite having been nominated several times, Leonardo DiCaprio won his first Oscar for Best Actor only in 2016 for his role in the film The Revenant, and it is his only Oscar he has won to date. His acceptance speech went viral for his passionate defense of the environment. Angel Falls, in Venezuela, is considered the highest waterfall in the world, with a drop of 979 meters. This height is more than 10 times higher than the famous Niagara Falls in North America. Surrounding this area live the Pomones, an indigenous community. The movie, Titanic, cost more than the construction of the Titanic itself. The film, Titanic, directed by James Cameron in 1997, had a production budget of around $200 million, while the construction of the Titanic in 1912 cost approximately $7.5 million. The crow is the most intelligent bird in the world. Crows are known for their ability to use tools such as twigs or sticks, and they can even imitate a variety of sounds, including human sounds. Disney, The Lion King, was inspired in part by Shakespeare's play Hamlet. In Hamlet, Prince Hamlet struggles to avenge his father's death and faces moral and ethical dilemmas in the process. In The Lion King, Simba is forced to confront his uncle Scar, who usurps the throne and is responsible for the death of his father, King Mufasa. The axolotl, a very curious animal, can regenerate its limbs. This species of salamander that lives in Mexico can regenerate parts of its body, such as lost limbs, such as legs, tail, and even parts of the brain and heart. Fortune cookies were not invented in China. Although these cookies are widely associated with Chinese culture, they have their origins in the United States in 1918. They were created by Chinese immigrants to America as a way to make the cookies more attractive to Western customers with a label with a message. In the channels of Xochimilco, there is the Island of the Dolls, an island full of dolls hanging from the tree. It is said that they were placed there by a man who wanted to appease the spirit of a girl who died on the island. As many know, Arnold Schwarzenegger, before his career as an actor and politician, was a famous bodybuilder who won the world's most prestigious bodybuilding contest called Mr. Olympia 7 times during the 1970s. Returning to the channels of Xochimilco, here are the famous trigeneras, boats used for both transportation and tourism. Trigeneras are long, narrow boats made of wood and are painted with bright colors and striking designs. Until Donald Trump became president of the United States, J.F. Kennedy had been the richest president in history. Pheasants Island changes its nationality. This small island of 3,000 square meters between France and Spain changes hands every 6 months due to the Pyrenees Treaty between these two countries. From February to August it is from Spain, and then it is from France for the other 6 months. The American bison is the largest land mammal in North America, with a body mass that can reach up to 1,000 kilograms or more in adult males. Koalas, despite their name, are not bears, but marsupials, belonging to the same family as kangaroos and wombats. They are native to Australia and feed mainly on eucalyptus leaves. Bluefin tuna can reach speeds of up to 70 kilometers per hour in short bursts. This incredible speed allows them to efficiently hunt their prey, such as small fish and squid, as well as avoid their natural predators. Singer Rihanna is also a successful businesswoman and fashion designer. He founded his own fashion brand called Fenty. in collaboration with LVMH, better known as Louis Vuitton. One of Fenty's standout features is its makeup shade range, which includes a wide variety of colors. The hippopotamus is the most dangerous mammal in Africa and is responsible for more human deaths on the continent than any other animal. It kills around 500 people a year in Africa and is twice as deadly as lions. The Argentine capital, Buenos Aires, has the widest avenue in the world, 9 de Julio, 140 meters wide, which is approximately 13 lanes. Basketball was invented by James Naismith, a physical education teacher, in 1891 in Springfield, Massachusetts. Originally, Naismith invented the game as an indoor activity for his students during the winter. He developed a set of simple rules and a basic objective: throw a ball into a basket suspended in the air in teams of 9. The International Space Station is a laboratory in orbit around the Earth, inhabited by astronauts of various nationalities who carry out scientific research in microgravity. The average waiting time until we fall asleep is 7 minutes. The lighter was invented before the match. While the German chemist Johann Wolfgang Dobereiner created a prototype of a hydrogen lighter in 1823, it was in 1827 that the English chemist John Walker created the first matches. Starting in the 1840s, containers specifically designed to transport and light these matches began to be marketed. The CDs were designed to receive 74 minutes of music because that is the length of Beethoven's Ninth Symphony. In Japan, there is Hashima Island, an abandoned island that was once a thriving coal mining center. After its abandonment in the 1970s, it became a ghostly place with ruined buildings and is occasionally visited by tourists and filmmakers. Helium is the only element that was discovered first in space and then on Earth. Helium was first discovered in space in 1868 by Pierre-Jules César Janssen while he was watching a solar eclipse and noticed that there was a yellow line in the solar spectrum, which he named helium. It was discovered on Earth in 1895. Antarctica is the only continent without a designated time zone. Since Antarctica has no permanent native population and research stations have their own schedules, there is no official time zone set for the continent. Most of the pandas in the world are owned by China. Pandas mainly live in dense bamboo forests found in the high mountains of western China. This country lends them to zoos around the world as part of cooperation agreements in the conservation of the species. The island of Santorini in Greece is the result of an ancient volcanic eruption. Santorini, an island in the Aegean Sea, is known for its stunning cliffs and sunsets. However, what many do not know is that the island is the result of an ancient volcanic eruption that created its characteristic crescent shape, and its beaches are made of black volcanic sand. The most resistant material produced by nature is spider web. The logo of the Spanish lollipop brand Chupa Chups was designed by Salvador Dali, and it only took him 1 hour to make. Anteaters eat more than 35,000 ants a day. They use their sharp claws to dig in the ground or open rotting logs in search of insects. The Cayman Islands are so called because of the large number of alligators that inhabited the region when Christopher Columbus first arrived in 1503. The musk deer, native to North America, has long upper teeth that resemble fangs. The Leaning Tower of Pisa is not the only leaning tower in the world. There are others in the world. One of them is the Tower of the Sirhusen Church in Germany, which has an inclination of 5 degrees and is the most inclined tower in the world, since the Tower of Pisa is inclined around 4 degrees. Strawberries have more vitamin C than oranges. If we compare, a 100-gram serving of fresh strawberries provides approximately 58 milligrams of vitamin C, while an equivalent serving of fresh oranges provides around 53 milligrams of vitamin C. Have you ever wondered who the Star Wars character Yoda is inspired by? The creators of Star Wars designed Yoda to look like Albert Einstein. If you are liking the video, don't forget to subscribe. Madokwa, small African antelopes that appear to have 4 eyes, use their tears to mark their territory. These considered the smallest antelopes in the world. leave a sticky secretion that emanates from the tear holes under their eyes. They also have a curious pointed snout. Sony created pocket televisions in 1982. The Sony Watchman had a small 5 cm black and white screen. They also had built-in antennas to capture television signals, which made it possible to watch programs on the move or in places where there was no access to a traditional television. Seahorses are one of the few species in the animal world where the male gives birth to young. The other species are pipefish, a species in the same family as seahorses. The Taj Mahal, located in India, a mausoleum built in 1632 by the Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan in memory of his favorite wife, Mumtaz Mahal. Have you ever wondered what investment NASA makes to investigate the outside world? NASA has a 2024 budget of more than $27 billion. The iconic white glove that Michael Jackson wore during his performances became his trademark. He began using it to cover a skin disease called vitiligo that affected the pigmentation of his hand. In 2009, his legendary glove called Moonwalk sold for $350,000 at auction. Sun Dung Cave, located in Vietnam, is the largest cave in the world in terms of volume. It has passages that reach up to 200 meters high and 150 meters wide. Along its approximately 9 kilometers in length, the cave is home to a number of unique features, including enormous stalactites and stalagmites, underground rivers, waterfalls, crystal clear lakes, and rock formations carved by nature over millions of years. Before his film career, Dwayne Johnson was a successful professional wrestler known as The Rock in WWE. He has made a successful transition into the world of film and was the highest paid actor in the world between 2018 and 2019, earning $23 million in Jumanji. Avocado has more protein than any other fruit. Although most fruits are known for being primarily carbohydrates, avocado stands out for its relatively high protein content compared to other fruits. It contains approximately 2 grams of protein per 100 grams of fruit. The Nile River is the longest river in the world, with a length of approximately 6,650 kilometers, and it passes through 10 countries on the continent. The giraffe is the tallest animal in the world, with an average height of 5.5 meters. Eating 40 apple seeds could kill you. This is because these seeds contain hydrocyanic acid in very small quantities. This acid is poisonous to humans and can be fatal in extremely high doses. The ostrich's eye is larger than its brain. They have large eyes that allow them to detect possible predators and prey from a distance. Venus is the only planet that rotates clockwise, or also known as retrograde rotation. This means that the sun rises in the west and sets in the east on Venus. A male lion's mane is an indicator of his health and strength. Females tend to prefer males with darker, fuller manes. In Iceland, police do not carry firearms on duty, as the country has the lowest crime rate in the world, so it is not necessary. The word sushi in Japanese does not specifically refer to raw fish, but to the vinegared rice used in preparation. The common octopus has 3 hearts and 9 brains. 2 of the hearts pump blood to the gills, while the third pumps oxygenated blood to the rest of the body. Its 9 brains provide it with a great capacity for perception and coordination of movement. The first automobile with a gasoline engine was built by Carl Benz in 1885. It was called a motor wagon and could reach a maximum speed of 16 kilometers per hour. As we see, it only had 3 wheels. Norway is the country with the most tunnels in the world. It has more than 900 tunnels. These tunnels run through mountains and fjords. Some of the most notable tunnels include the world's longest road tunnel, the Lærdal Tunnel, which stretches for more than 24 kilometers under Lærdal Mountain in the western region of Norway. Actor Christopher Lee, known for his iconic roles in films such as Dracula, The Lord of the Rings, and Star Wars, had a fascinating ancestry that included Charlemagne, one of the most influential figures in European history. In Iceland, There is a belief in the existence of supernatural beings called Huldufolk, or hidden elves. It is said that 54% of Icelanders believe in the existence of these beings. Tikal National Park in Guatemala is home to the ruins of an ancient Mayan city. The national park protects the ruins of an ancient Mayan city that was an important political, economic, and religious center during the classic Mayan period. The Forbidden City in Beijing, China, is the largest imperial palace in the world and was the residence of Chinese emperors for almost 500 years. Built between 1406 and 1420 during the Ming Dynasty, the Forbidden City is surrounded by a wall and a moat, and is made up of more than 90 palace buildings, housing an impressive collection of art, antiquities, and cultural relics. Earth's oceans contain about 97% of the water on Earth, with the remaining 3% being freshwater in the form of rivers, lakes, glaciers, and groundwater. The spider monkey can jump up to 9 meters and survive surprising falls. It has been observed that these primates can fall from heights of up to 15 meters without suffering serious injuries. This ability is due in part to their unique physical structure, which includes long, thin legs that act as natural shock absorbers during falls. The first commercial mobile phone was the Motorola Dynatc 8000X, launched in 1983. It weighed almost 1 kilogram and offered a battery life of approximately 30 minutes of talk time. Russia is bigger than Pluto. If we compare the surface, Russia measures 1704540 square kilometers. Pluto is estimated at 17 million square kilometers. The term "okay" originated in the 19th century as an abbreviation for "all correct," a joke that became popular in the United States. King Louis XIX of France reigned for just 20 minutes, making him the shortest monarch in French history. The rhinoceros beetle can support up to 850 times its body weight, making it the strongest animal in the world in proportion to its size. Coca-Cola's original name was Pemberton's French wine Coca, and it contained extracts of coca leaves and cola nuts. That's why it's called Coca-Cola, because of the coca leaves and cola nuts. 600 years ago, during the period of the 100 Years' War between England and France, French became the official language in England as a result of the French-Norman conquest of England. Towards the end of the medieval period, English regained its status as the dominant language in England. The Atlantic Ocean is salter than the Pacific Ocean due to greater evaporation and less precipitation. The Atlantic Ocean is salter than the Pacific Ocean due to greater evaporation and less precipitation. The Chinese giant salamander is the largest amphibian in the world, reaching a length of up to 1.8 meters. Furthermore, a notable characteristic of this salamander is its longevity, reaching more than 50 years. The deepest man-made hole on Earth is the Kola Superdeep Well, located in Russia. It has a depth of approximately 12,262 meters. This was done as a research project of the Soviet Union to reach the center of the Earth, and was completed in 1992 after 9 years. The General Sherman tree, a giant sequoia in Sequoia National Park in California, is considered the largest tree in the world by volume. Its name honors General William Tecumseh Sherman, a prominent American military leader during the Civil War. It has a volume of around 1487 cubic meters and approximately 2,500 meters. There is the Instagram building, where everyone wants to take a photo. It is located in Spain and has served as inspiration for the Squid Game. It is recognized as the Instagram building due to the large number of tourists who come every day to take photos and upload them to this social network. More stories are shared on Instagram than in daily life, since it is estimated that more than 300 billion stories are published a day on the popular platform. There are places in the world where it is forbidden to dive. Longyearbyen, Norway. This seemingly strange rule is due to the unique conditions, as the ground is permanently frozen, making it impossible to bury bodies traditionally. Have you ever wondered where the meteorite that wiped out the dinosaurs fell? It was on Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula where the Chicxulub crater is, believed to be the impact site of the asteroid that contributed to the extinction of the dinosaurs approximately 66 million years ago. This also explains why there are so many cenotes in this area, since more than 10,000 were created. Will Smith initially rose to fame as a rapper under the stage name The Fresh Prince. He later became a successful film and television actor, known for films such as Men in Black. Bluetooth technology is named after Harald Bluetooth, a Viking king of Denmark in the year 940, who brought the tribes of Denmark and Norway together. And Bluetooth technology is responsible for joining electronic devices from different manufacturers and allowing wireless communication between them. The Voyager 1 space probe, launched by NASA in 1977, is the farthest spacecraft from Earth. In August 2012, it became the first man-made object to enter interesting space. The main mission was to explore the giant planets Jupiter and Saturn, from which it transmitted detailed images back to Earth. The largest bird in the world is the ostrich, which can reach a height of up to 2.7 meters and a weight of up to 160 kilograms. Starfish have the ability to regenerate lost limbs. If a starfish loses an arm due to a predator or other accident, it can regrow the lost arm. The eruption of the Krakatoa volcano in 1883 was one of the most powerful in recorded history and generated a tsunami that caused waves up to 40 meters high. Located in the Sunda Strait, between the islands of Java and Sumatra in Indonesia, it caused the death of more than 40,000 people, and the force of the explosion is compared to the Hiroshima bombs. The Palace of Versailles in France has more than 2,300 rooms. This palace is one of the most visited tourist destinations in the world. One of the impressive features is its vast number of rooms. In addition to its many rooms, the Palace of Versailles is famous for its extensive gardens, which include fountains, statues, and lush flower beds. In Canada, there is the Cluane Ice Field, one of the largest ice fields in the world outside the polar regions. The Cluane Ice Field is a vast expanse of ice and snow that extends across the Yukon Territory in Canada. With an area of more than 22,000 square kilometers, this ice field is an impressive natural wonder. The wolverine is one of the most ferocious and territorial mammals, despite its not-so-large appearance. Also known as a wolverine, it is a medium-sized carnivore, similar to a small bear. This animal is a relentless and brave predator, with great strength and ability to hunt animals much larger than itself, such as reindeer and caribou. Its powerful jaw and sharp fangs allow it to tear the flesh of its prey with ease. The black widow spider's venom is 15 times more potent than that of a rattlesnake, but the amount of venom injected is much less. More than 120 Australian animals are endangered by feral cats. There are an estimated 20 million of these cats in Australia, and they kill many species of amphibians every day, such as large desert skinks, bearded dragons, and geckos. Before Keanu Reeves received the offer to play Neo in The Matrix, top actors such as Will Smith, Brad Pitt, Val Kilmer, and Nicolas Cage rejected this role. Will Smith turned it down to star in Wild Wild West, which he considers one of his biggest mistakes in his career. The lion is the most sexually active animal in the world. The United States, Myanmar, and Liberia are the only countries that do not have the standard metric system of measurement. These three countries use the British imperial system of inches and pounds. The South American electric catfish, known as bullfish, can generate electrical shocks of up to 350 volts to incapacitate prey and defend itself from predators. During World War II, the Japanese built a single-use fighter plane called the Kamikaze, which was deliberately crashed into enemy targets as a suicide tactic. They were loaded with bombs and flown by young volunteer pilots who volunteered to carry out suicide missions in the name of the country. The Andes mountain range is the longest mountain range in the world, stretching for approximately 7,000 kilometers along the western coast of South America. French is the official language in more than 29 countries around the world, in many countries in Africa, and other places such as Luxembourg or Monaco, among others. Despite her fame as an actress and sex symbol, Marilyn Monroe had an exceptionally high IQ of around 168, placing her in the genius range. The IQ was 5 points higher than Albert Einstein's. The emperor penguin is the bird that can dive the deepest, reaching depths of up to 550 meters. The kiwi is a national fruit of New Zealand, but few know that it originates from China, where it is known as mahudo, or monkey fruit, due to its similarity to the brown, furry fur of the gibbon monkey, a native species of the region. The Chinese appreciated the sweet and refreshing taste of kiwi and grew it on a small scale for local consumption. The Netherlands has more bicycles than people. This country is known for being a bike-friendly country, and in fact, they have more bikes than people. It is estimated that there are around 22 million bicycles in the Netherlands, while the population is approximately 17 million people. Tigers have stripes on their skin, not just their fur. Even if a tiger was shaved completely, it would still have its striped patterns on its skin due to pigmentation. The Arabic alphabet does not include vowels. It only consists of 28 consonants, and vowels are represented by diacritics that are placed above, below, or around the consonant letters. The Aral Sea, located between Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan, used to be one of the 4 largest lakes in the world, but due to excessive water extraction for agriculture, it has been drastically reduced in size and divided into 2 bodies of water. The Burj Khalifa Tower in Dubai, United Arab Emirates, is the tallest building in the world, the total height of 828 meters. The Kingda Ka roller coaster at Six Flags Great Adventure Amusement Park in New Jersey is the tallest and fastest roller coaster in the world, with a maximum height of 139 meters and a maximum speed of 206 kilometers per hour. The Great Wall of China is not visible from space with the naked eye. Although it is long, its width and color make it difficult to distinguish from Earth's orbit. The phenomenon known as the Bermuda Triangle is a region of the Atlantic Ocean where mysterious disappearances of ships and planes have occurred over the years. Some 50 ships and 20 planes have been lost in this particular area of the Atlantic Ocean. Butterflies can taste with their feet. This is due to the presence of taste receptors in the extremities that allow them to detect and evaluate chemicals present on the surfaces they touch. The word cacao comes from the Mayan language and means bitter drink. For the ancient Mayans, cocoa was much more than a simple drink. It was considered a food of the gods and was associated with divinity, fertility, and power. The island of Java in Indonesia is the most populated island in the world, with more than 140 million inhabitants. Additionally, population density in Java is remarkably high, averaging more than 1,000 people per square kilometer. The crater of the Irazu volcano in Costa Rica contains a green lake due to the high acidity of the water, which gives it a surreal appearance. The island of Guam suffered an accidental introduction of the Guam snake. They arrived accidentally in World War II, and before they arrived, there were 12 species of birds on this island, and this snake has already made 10 of them extinct. This ease in hunting birds is due to a particular movement they have for climbing trees. The bulldog ant, found in Australia, has a bite so powerful that it is capable of splitting its prey in two. The United States Library of Congress is the largest library in the world. It contains more than 36 million books. Among them, it houses the draft of the Declaration of Independence of the United States. Do you know the famous Catatumbo lightning phenomenon? It is a unique natural spectacle that occurs in the Lake Maracaibo region in Venezuela. This is a series of thunderstorms that form almost constantly over the lake, especially at night. This phenomenon has been recognized as the place with the greatest electrical activity in the world. Hawaiian pizza was not invented in Hawaii, but in Canada by a Greek immigrant. This pizza, known for containing pineapple, its Hawaiian name comes from the can of pineapple that was used to invent it, which was Hawaiian. The first email in history was QWERTY. It was sent by Ray Tomlinson, recognized as the inventor of email in 1971, which as we see are the letters on the keyboard arranged in the first row. The company name Yahoo has a meaning with the initials of each letter, which mean yet another hierarchical officious oracle. In Spanish, yet another hierarchical unofficial oracle. In Cleveland, Ohio, mouse hunting is prohibited unless you have a license. There is a law that protects the integrity of these animals. To make a kilo of honey, bees must travel to 1,440,000 flowers. Surprising truth. Albert Einstein's parents believed their son had mental problems. Einstein was known for his tendency to question the status quo from an early age, sometimes leading to behaviors that might have been considered unusual by his parents and teachers. In his youth, he seemed distracted and uninterested in traditional teaching methods, thus leading to this appreciation. The longest alphabet in the world is that of Cambodia. It has 74 letters. Also known as the Khmer alphabet, it is one of the oldest and most complex writing systems in the world. The Philippines is the only country in the world, along with the Vatican, where it is illegal to divorce. 80% of Filipinos are Catholic, which greatly influences this. Many people no longer live with their spouse, but cannot file divorce papers. The famous word honeymoon comes from ancient Babylon, where the father of the bride provided his son-in-law with all the honey beer he could drink for a month after the wedding. And since the Babylonian calendar is determined by lunar phases, it was called the honeymoon. Most toilets in Hong Kong use seawater. Socotra Island, due to its isolation, is home to species found nowhere else on Earth. Some rare species on this island are geckos, the gecko, and even the Socotra whiptail lizard. A hummingbird may weigh less than a US coin. The average weight of a hummingbird can range from 2 to 20 grams, and a US penny weighs approximately 2.5 grams. Jellyfish are 95% water. The physical structure of a jellyfish is mainly made up of a type of transparent gelatin called mesoglea, which is composed mainly of water and makes up most of its body, giving jellyfish their gelatinous and transparent appearance. The scent of a skunk can be detected by a human from more than 1 kilometer away. The skunk or skunk has the strongest odor in the animal kingdom, which serves to deter predators and mark its territory. Did you know that there was a goddess called Caca? One of the earliest goddesses of the Romans was called Caca. The relationship between the characters of Indiana Jones, played by Harrison Ford, and his father, Henry Jones Sr., played by Sean Connery, has the curiosity that in real life there is only a 12-year age difference between the two actors, which is little. The Amazon River contains approximately 20% of the world's unfrozen freshwater, making it a crucial source of freshwater for the region and a vital component of the global hydrological cycle. The Mona Lisa, one of the most famous paintings in the world, is valued at a staggering $700 million. But the most surprising thing is that it is insured for only $172 million. The camel is the only mammal capable of drinking salt water without getting sick. The common swift can spend 10 months in flight in a row. During the breeding season, they spend most of their time in flight, searching for food and mates. After the breeding season, these birds migrate to Africa to spend the winter. Have you ever wondered what Donald Duck's name is? Donald Fauntleroy Duck is the full name. Fauntleroy as a humorous nod to the fictional character, Little Lord Fauntleroy, created by author Francis Hodgson Burnett. In Queensland, Australia, it is illegal to have a pet rabbit, unless you are a magician who must present paperwork. Despite their name, Chinese checkers were invented in Germany. The game of Chinese checkers was invented in Germany in 1892 under the name Sternhalma, but became popular in the West after being adapted and marketed by the Ravensburger Company in the 1920s. Did you know that the unicorn is the national animal of Scotland? This is since in Celtic mythology, the unicorn was considered a dual symbol that represented both purity and innocence as well as virility and power. Lake Superior, located in North America, stands out as the largest freshwater lake in the world in terms of area, covering an impressive area of around 82,100 square kilometers. It extends across 3 states in the United States, Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Michigan, and the province of Ontario in Canada. Situated majestically in the Caucasus region of Russia, Mount Elbrus stands as the highest mountain in Europe, with a towering altitude of around 5,642 meters above sea level. Trovent stones, known as living stones, are rocks that grow and reproduce in nature. They are found in Romania and, due to certain minerals in their composition, they can grow and multiply over time. Kangaroos, known for their peculiar way of moving, have a unique characteristic. They cannot move their hind legs independently, making them unable to walk backwards. In India, there are many rivers where people bathe for religious reasons. The best known is the Ganges, the most sacred river in India. Bathing in the waters of this river during certain festivals or in certain sacred places can wash away sins and bring spiritual salvation. Icelandic is one of the oldest and most preserved languages in the world and has changed very little since the time of the ancient Viking settlers. Due to Iceland's relative geographic isolation and lack of outside linguistic influences, Icelandic has experienced minimal linguistic changes over the centuries. The platypus along with the echidnas are the only mammals that lay eggs. The reason why the platypus is considered a mammal despite laying eggs lies in characteristics such as the fact that females secrete milk through pores in their skin to feed their newborn babies. They have teeth and fur, and they regulate their temperature. This species is known for having a duck-like beak, a beaver-like tail, and webbed feet similar to a duck's. Kabuki theater is a form of traditional Japanese theater characterized by elaborate makeup, costumes, and exaggerated gestures. The Mongol Empire, founded by Genghis Khan in the 13th century, was the largest contiguous empire in history, encompassing approximately 22% of the world's land area at its peak. After his death in 1227, his vast empire divided into several smaller khanates, each ruled by a descendant of Genghis Khan or a tribal leader, which gradually fell. The Alexandria Lighthouse, built around 280 BC. On the island of Pharos in Egypt, it was one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world and one of the tallest structures of its time. The human body has about 37 trillion cells. These cells vary in size, shape, and function, and work together to keep the human body functioning. The Great Barrier Reef, located off the coast of Queensland, Australia, is the largest coral reef system in the world, with a length of approximately 2,300 kilometers. In Japan, there is a tradition of the tea ceremony, known as shinoyu, or chado. It is an influential cultural practice that involves preparing and serving matcha tea, a variety of powdered green tea that is prepared by mixing it with hot water and whisking it in a special bowl called a chawan. The preparation of matcha tea is a central part of the ceremony and is done with great attention to detail and precision. The word Google is derived from the mathematical term Google, which represents the number 1 followed by 100 zeros. However, the name was registered as Google by mistake and remained that way. The Eiffel Tower can be taller in summer than in winter, due to the expansion and contraction of metal due to temperature fluctuations. The Eiffel Tower can increase its height by up to 15 centimeters during the summer months. Bees can recognize human faces. Although they have small brains, bees have a remarkable ability to recognize and remember patterns, including human faces. Scientists still don't know why we yawn. Although yawning is a common phenomenon, its exact purpose is not yet fully understood by science. Several theories have been proposed, such as brain temperature regulation or the need for oxygen, but none have been conclusively confirmed. Japan has more vending machines per capita than any other country in the world. Vending machines are ubiquitous in Japan and can be found almost everywhere, from streets to office buildings to train stations. The baobab tree can store up to 120,000 liters of water in its thick trunk to survive in arid climates. These trees, native to Madagascar and other African regions, are known as trees of life, as they provide food, shelter, and water to a wide variety of animal species. The walrus has very long tusks, which can measure up to a meter in length. These fangs are used in fights between males for dominance, where they hit their fangs competing for access to females during the mating season. Additionally, they are useful for digging the seabed in search of food. The Prague Astronomical Clock, located in the Old Town Hall of Prague, Czech Republic, is the oldest medieval clock in the world still in operation. It was installed in 1410 and shows the time, the position of the sun and moon, and the signs of the zodiac. Elephants are the only mammals that cannot jump, as they lack the flexibility to lift all four legs simultaneously. The sun is approximately 109 times larger than Earth in diameter. This difference in size is one of the reasons why the sun exerts such a powerful influence on our solar system, providing light and heat to the planets, including Earth. The black panther is not a separate species, but a color variant of the leopard or panther. Her dark coat is the result of a recessive gene, and when we look closely, we notice that she still retains the distinctive spots or rosettes characteristic of normal leopards. The apple tree can produce up to 400 apples a year. From Sweet Gala to tart Granny Smith, apple trees come in many varieties. But how many apples can a single tree produce? The apple tree, with its amazing capacity, can produce up to 400 apples a year depending on the season and growing conditions. The Great Pyramid of Giza is the only one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world that is still preserved. With an original height of approximately 146 meters, the Great Pyramid was the tallest structure in the world for almost 4,000 years. It was built more than 4,500 years ago and is the only one of the 7 wonders that is still preserved today. The other 6 wonders of the ancient world no longer exist due to various factors, such as earthquakes, fires, intentional destruction, or the passage of time, which has led to their disappearance. The Ferrari LaFerrari is a high-end hybrid that, unlike other hybrid car manufacturers, Ferrari decided not to include a fully electric mode in the LaFerrari, as they felt that the battery technology was not advanced enough to provide the driving experience they were looking for. In 2009, NASA confirmed the presence of water in the form of ice on the moon. This discovery raises the possibility that water could one day be extracted on the moon for use in space missions. Lightning can travel a distance of up to 8 kilometers in length and can reach temperatures of up to 30,000 degrees Celsius, hotter than the surface of the sun. Easter Island, known for its gigantic stone statues called moai, is one of the most remote places inhabited by humans. It is located in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, about 3,700 kilometers from the coast of Chile. Marco Polo was a Venetian merchant and explorer who traveled through Asia during the 13th century. His book, The Book of Wonders of the World, also known as The Travels of Marco Polo, was one of the first detailed descriptions of the East for Europeans. Some caterpillars, such as the monarch butterfly caterpillar, are able to detect chemicals in the plants they eat and can change plants if they detect that the one they are eating is poisonous. What curious facts we have seen! If you liked the video, don't forget to like it and subscribe so you never miss out on new content.